Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. I have an Ariens snowblower. I bought at a garage sale this summer and I didn't pay $75 for it. I paid half that. I got it at a half off sale and they said it was running last year and it wouldn't start this summer. A year ago, and it wouldn't start this past winter. Said it was all good and ran, and they're very confident it would run again. So I had a look, except for a twig I just picked up. The bearings and everything, bushings look tight. Everything seems intact. Often somewhere in here something breaks and you no longer have connection between the engine and the blades. There's also shear pins in there that could break. So seems like everything's fine. And I'm going to see, first I'm going to check for spark. I'm going to see if it will fire on something sprayed into the engine before I go any further on this and spend too much time on it. So let's see if we can get ourselves a snowblower this year. Looks alright. Put it on here. Check for spark. You probably won't see it. I'll probably barely see it. It's hard to see in the daylight. Oh, good strong spark. Very strong spark. That's good to see. So I don't even have to spray anything in it. I know it's going to work. I'm not going to waste my time spraying anything in there and messing with it. Possibly sucking any more gunk through the carburetor. The next step is going to be to check how bad the gas is in this. You got to have spark or gas, one of the two. Now this has some shrouds all over it. So I've got to see. Can you see where I am? What it takes to take off this shroud. There's 3 screws. I wonder if that's designed to come out. I'm not sure how this is supposed to come through, because there's a heat shield on here and it says right on it, when using summer attachments, remove heater box and install air cleaner. So I know that this has to be removed to get to the carburetor, or to use summer attachments, which is cool to know there's summer attachments for this. Well, that falls right off now. I just don't know how I'm going to get the choke cable through. It doesn't appear to have been installed in a proper manner last time this was removed. Maybe I can pull this rubber piece out. I hope this is going to work alright for me, because the choke here. And this is a weird situation. I got to get the choke spring through. Okay. They didn't make this very easy for you. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to struggle with this and try to figure out how to get that box off. Okay, I got the box off. And of course it was a winter use vehicle, so or machine, so there's nothing too bad in here to mess with. I'm going to spray something in there and give it some pulls and see if I can get this to sputter at the very least before I proceed any further. I am going to remove the fuel line though. I don't want to suck any dirty old gas through. So there's a screw here. Okay, I'm going to have to get a container and drain that out. I don't want to make a mess here. I'm going to have to get a cup under there. So, alright, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to try to drain it out in case there's any gas in the line. Okay, the gas is draining into an old oil container. And it's nasty. It is a ugly yellow. I do not want to get any gas on the ground here where we live because we have well water. So I'm trying to be very, very careful not to drip anywhere. So I'll finish that up. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I also took off the gas tank and I have it sitting aside to dry out in the sun in case there's any moisture in it. So I didn't do that on camera. It was a little bit of a struggle. Alright, now I'm going to spray the carb with carburetor cleaner and see if it'll sputter. It should try to run and burn that. Good. Okay. That's definitely a good sign. So now I'm going to proceed to take apart the carburetor and clean it. The gas wasn't very nice and clean, so it's going to require a little work. I'm just looking at what I have to do. There's a nut here and a nut here, but it's, I don't like this type. I'm going to have to get a wrench. This one is in behind the gas line. I don't know how hard this is going to be to get out. I prefer it when they have a screwdriver. There we go. Let me see. Well, at least it's not too hard. That one comes out. Let's see if I can get the other one at an angle in here. The way it's in there. Oh, it's just going to reach. Good. It's not easy. There's no range of motion. Oh, the whole... looks like the whole bolt's going to come out of the head. I hope that's not going to be an issue here. The bolt's turning on that one out of the head. So is this one. Interesting. Okay. Out of this intake, I should say. The head is up top. Okay. At least it comes off easy. This should be hopefully a quick fix, and I'll have a good snowblower for this winter. I don't have the air cleaner that was supposed to have been with it, so I'm not going to want to run it much outdoors without something to protect it. I'll have to look around and see if I can get something to go on there. Not a lot of dirt and dust in the winter, so they don't have air cleaners on these things, on the snowblowers. Anyway, I'm going to get these screws undone. This is quite a slow process. Well, I didn't realize it. I've never had like that before, but there's a bolt back there. It goes through and it was free spinning on me. I'm like, why isn't this coming out? I just wanted to note that. I mention that to y'all. I had to hold that steady with my hand and try to stop the bolt from spinning while I get that nut off. There's no room to get in there with my fingers, but at least it's not snagging on me, so it's not impossible. It's snagging a little. Oh, it's hard to turn with the fingertips. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. There is a free spinning bolt through there. On this particular machine. I think this is a Tecumseh. Anyway, I gotta get that off. Okay. This all came off on me. So this and this come together. And I've got to get that throttle linkage out. This arm, I have to admit, is really in my way on this machine. I can't see. Get that throttle linkage out of there. Oh, fun. I don't know how I'm going to get that back in when I'm done either. Okay, there's that. Now, oh, there's another linkage. Oh, I'm spilling some gas. Don't want to do that. Alright, there's the other linkage here for the choke. Okay, there's that. And there's our carburetor, which is in desperate need of cleaning. I have to dump that fuel into a container. I'll be back. Yeah, oh yeah, that's nasty. So, I brought it over on a paper towel. I've got to get this bottom nut off and then take the bowl off. See how bad it is inside. I don't know, the guy said it wasn't. It was one season. So one season of bad gas, however bad that can be. Oh! Wow. Okay. Not as easy as I thought. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta undo that nut. Okay, I had to actually put this back on the engine to get enough torque to remove that. It was really on there tight. Oh, a little bit of gas, a little bit of sludge. I'll be back in a minute. This definitely, I believe, has been sitting more than a single year. That's a lot of green filth on there. A lot of scale. See? It's been sitting, I think, more than a year. I guess it's pretty bad stuff. I'm very gently just rubbing off the scale with a screwdriver. I try to be careful so I don't mess with the float settings. Hopefully the float is fine. It's not too bad though inside. Just that scale. I guess we'll see here. Let me see if I can spray through there. If it comes out the other inside, then we're good. I put it right in that hole where the jet goes. Yeah, and it's flowing out. Good. Very good. I put it in all the holes. Spray it through. I don't think I need an air compressor on this one. I've definitely seen worse. Okay, I'm just going to continue cleaning until I don't find any more bits and pieces of sludge or anything. And then I'll take out the screw and we'll clean up in there as well. But I think the jet is okay. We got to clean up this part. This is usually plugged with sludge. So I'm going to do that off camera, as I'm going to just take my time and clean carefully, make sure there's no dirt, no gunk anywhere. I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, time has passed. Life gets in the way a little bit sometimes, but that's fine. I left this soaking, and it looks good. Doesn't seem to be any junk in the line there. I'm going to give this a little wipe before I put it back on. Make sure there's nothing loose in there. And this looks really good now. So I've got to put the float back in. The, what do you call it? Needle. Why is it giving me trouble? Oh. Boy. Well, that's a tricky task. It might take me a minute to get that in there. I just had a cup of coffee, so I'll get that in there and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, I finally got that on. One thing I did not do is clean the hole for the needle here. So what you do, you turn this in half a turn at a time, counting your turns until it seats. Looks like exactly 2 turns. And then you can unscrew it all the way. And that allows you to get in there and clean it. And then you'll reseat it to 2 turns. Or all the way in. Oh, that's clean. Wow. There's just some black stuff on it. I'm still going to shoot it with some cleaner. Carburetor's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse. I'm going to screw it all the way in until it stops, and then bring it out 2 turns. Something was wrong. Didn't feel right. There we go. There, we're close. Okay, now that's right where it was. I've got to wipe the bowl. I'll be back. I'm just going to take it and wipe it with a paper towel, which is not right here. And then we'll start putting this back together. Everything else looks good. The jet on here was fine. There's no other little holes that I could find. Just the one in this carburetor, and it flowed good. Okay. I think I sprayed that, but I'll get it one more time. And then we just simply tighten that back on. Then we put it all back together. We have a nice clean carburetor. Let's go put this machine together and see if it'll run. I hope you can see alright. It's a little bit shaded here now. I'm going to attempt to reassemble all of this. The heat shield holds the gasket. Now what's going to be really fun is trying to get this linkage on right. And to get this all together, I guess I can put the linkage on and then put on the heat shield. Now the linkage had fallen off. I guess you'll see in the video. I'm thinking it was in the middle one here, but I guess I'm going to see later on when I edit this video. I might have to take it all apart and redo that because it fell out on me, and I'm not sure without looking at the video where that was. So that I'm going to have to check later. Okay, there's that. Now I gotta reconnect the. How did I do that? Oh, that was on here. Okay. I'll take that back off and hook this back on. This is not the easiest one I've ever worked on before because of all the different things. All the different linkages that are involved. Let's see, how's that? Fun, fun, fun. And that, of course, wants to move on me. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this all to go together nice and happy like. Okay. Really hope I got that throttle linkage right, because I don't want to do this again. I know you're going to see in the video, but I don't want to have to go all the way up and check that. But when I hand tighten these a little bit, I can check to see if it moves properly and it's not binding on me or anything. Oh, where'd that come from? Alright, I'm going to shut off the camera because I'm going to have to block it with my head. So now it's just a matter of reversing everything, get that tightened up. Fortunately, the bolt wants to hold itself in place. I'm not going to torque it down really hard in case I have to take that all apart again. And that one is very awkward to reach. So I'll get that last one on, which is incredibly awkward to get to. And be back in a minute. And of course put the fuel line back on. Not going to get any gas without that. Probably my head's going to be in the way again. I see. Yeah, I can't do that without blocking the camera. I'll get that tightened up. Now, by the way, I put the gas can back on. And it's dry. It's been sitting in the sun all day. I'm just going to put enough fuel in there to get it started and see, make sure I don't have any leaks. Well, that sure looks different from the gas I pulled out of there. Now, I shouldn't see any leaks, and I'm just sort of setting my tools off to the side. One last thing I got to check before I fire it is the oil. It's full, but needs a changing. So once I get it running, that'll be the next thing to do. Change that oil. Probably, in most cases, people don't change the oil ever. They don't realize they got to do that on these things every season. And that's probably pretty old. So, I'm not sure about the throttle. Like I said, I'm not at all sure how that's going to work out. I think I need to put some oil on there. Let's see. Give it a pull, see what happens. Runs smooth. Got a little mix. Let's see if the throttle works. Now I've got to check everything else. I've got to clear the area, so I'll be back in a minute. I've got to clear away everything and make sure the snowblower part works. Looks good. Sounds good. I'm going to put the heat shield back on after it cools down. And we've got ourselves a nice snowblower. Everything looks good. Now, whether I do it today or not, or on a separate video, I have to grease all the joints, check the bearings again, make sure everything's good, and just lube everything up thoroughly. I'm going to check the gear oil. That's something very important. People don't realize there's gear oil in here, and if they don't keep that filled up, they could seize up the transmission. And change the motor oil. I'll probably have that be a separate video because the day is getting long here. Lube up your linkages, but all that's got to be done another time. We have a good running snowblower. It sounds good. Has a little bit of an occasional miss. That could be the spark plug, but I'm happy. That was an easy job. Looks like the throttle's working, so time will tell when we get to winter, and I really need to work this thing, but I'm going to lube up everything first. So there we go, guys, a $35 or $30 some odd snowblower for us that just needed a carburetor cleaning and fresh gas, and we've got a nice machine. So stay tuned for the lubrication and oil change on another video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps somebody, bringing an old Ariens snowblower back to life. Pretty cool. We got ourselves a snowblower for the off-grid homestead this year. No more hand shoveling and suffering. It's self-propelled too, so pretty nice tool for the homestead. Well, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Another fine tool for the homestead. Please like, subscribe, and share. Follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. It's going to be a brutal winter. This is going to be helpful. Talk to you later. Hit that bell icon and get notifications of uploads.